City News at 7. Governor Akeredolu hinges true federalism on restructuring at National Honor and Awards reception. President Buhari inaugurates Ariwola as substantive Chief Justice of Nigeria. Police nabs 8 bandit informants in Zamfara. And from the foreign scene, Myanmar's junta again sentences ousted leader Aung San Suu Kyi 6 years in prison for corruption. A warm welcome to the news. My name is Remy Allen. Ondo State Governor Oluwarotimi Akeredolu says Nigeria cannot attain true federalism without restructuring. Governor Akeredolu, while restating his passion for a better Nigeria, emphasized the need for state police and Southern presidency. At a reception organized by the Ondo APC South senatorial candidate in the 2023 general elections, Dr. Jimoh Ibrahim in Abuja, the governor said his commitment to one Nigeria remains unwavering. Government House correspondent Wahab Bankole reports that governor also attended a reception organized in his honor by the Minister of State for Transportation, Prince Ademola Adegoroye, at the Sheikh Musa Yar'Adua Center, Abuja.
The heavy presence of security personnel here at the International Conference Center in Abuja underlines the importance attached to this event. Following his national honor as the commander of the Order of the Niger, CON, by President Muhammadu Buhari at the International Conference Center in Abuja, it was time for sons and daughters of the Sunshine State to celebrate and felicitate Governor Oluwarotimi Akeredolu, Ondo APC South senatorial candidate in the 2023 general elections. Mr. Jimoh Ibrahim hosted a reception in honor of the governor. The host, Mr. Ibrahim, while congratulating the governor, described him as a blessing not only to Ondo State, but also to Nigeria.
A plus for us in Ondo State, and the reason why you are conferred with this honor is not less than your extreme achievements in governance, your doggedness, your courage and courageous fighting for the desire to create hope for the hopeless, to bring justice to the unjust.
The wife of the governor, Mrs. Betty Anyanwu Akeredolu, Deputy Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa, and Speaker of the State House of Assembly, Bamidele Olelogun, while saluting the governor's stance on national issues, encouraged him not to relent his courageous moves.
As a senior advocate, even when you come to government and politics, you remain the same. There is no dissonance for what you stand for.
That Amoteku project reassured me that I haven't lost identity to politics. So thank you, darling, for believing in your conviction. And you know, when you do certain things that are tough, you know, you remember how he does his hand, nothing will happen.
Governor Akeredolu, who congratulated all other awardees from the Sunshine State, said he was surprised at the national honor and appreciated President Muhammadu Buhari for the gesture.
This is not something unexpected. You can see a lot of things that happen in defending our people of Ondo State. So nobody will expect that we will be giving such an honor. I support APC constitution fully that says that we will be restructuring. It's in our constitution. So everything we have been doing is tailored towards that. I believe that I'm not out of place if I tell our state police. I'm not.
In the same vein, the Sheikh Musa Yar'Adua Center in Abuja hosted a reception organized for Governor Akeredolu and other honorees from Ondo State by the Minister of State for Transportation, Prince Ademola Adigoroye. The Transport Minister congratulated the governor and other honorees.
Because you do good, and because you are a total investment, Ọlọ́run náà lè yẹ ẹ́. Àlàáfíà Ọlọ́run lójú ìrọ̀lọ́ àwọ̀ the Lord will bless you.
Governor Akeredolu thanked the minister for the honor and reaffirmed his commitment to advancing the state and making life more worth living for residents. The event was spiced with the performance by cultural troupe and the Kegas Club. Wahab Bankole, Osrc News.
In the same vein, following her emergence as the best private school in Nigeria, the management of Mommy's Place International Nursery and Primary School has recommitted to sustaining qualitative education and molding the lives of future leaders. This recommitment came to the fore at the grand reception held in honor of the proprietor, Dr. Damilola Oshin, upon her return from Abuja, where she received the award. Osrc's Zaid Aribisala reports that students, staff and parents rode out the drums to welcome her.
Mommy's Place International Nursery and Primary School, Akure, shone perhaps the brightest at the nation's capital, Abuja, with the recognition by the federal government as the best private school in Nigeria. The school's proprietor, Dr. Damilola Oshin, who had gone to receive the award from the Vice President, Professor Yemi Osibajo, officially returned to a heroic welcome by the pupils, including students of its secondary arm, Place College, their teachers and parents who rolled out drums.
But when I got to this place, even everything about me changed. Like teaching, my method of teaching, my spoken English.
We are having electronic board in all the classrooms, and this electronic board we are talking about, we have educational software.
The excitement which clouded the atmosphere, according to the students and their parents, is a testament to the fulfillment derived at the citadel of learning.
The playground and the classes are conducive for learning.
I started the school when I was 9 months, and I started from crèche, and now I'm in SS3 in the secondary school, Place College. I'm honestly not surprised that they are winning this award because I know the kind of school this is. The love, the determination of our proprietress.
The name itself, Mommy's Place, gives you that sense that you're in a place where there is a mommy, and the proprietress embodies everything that has to do with that word mommy.
Coming into the States some years ago from the north, I needed somewhere that I could have my kids and then I'll have peace of mind. I could have my kids and then I know the morals are still there. I could have my kids and then I know they're not carried away with the new digital life now. And then coming into Mommy's Place, I found all this as a total package.
Mommy's Place International Nursery and Primary School Hall thereafter hosted a media chat where the proprietor, Dr. Damilola Oshin, dedicated the award to God, the teachers, parents and the students.
Gentlemen of the press.
She noted that the school, which was founded on love, will continue to prioritize molding the lives of children for the best in future.
The place being Mommy's Place, and for it to turn out to be this, and then the children are there, parents are there, members of staff, the teachers, everybody, welcoming us with the award that we didn't go with, and then we have come back with as the best private school in Nigeria. We give glory to God.
The representative from the Ondo State Ministry of Education, Science and Technology, Mrs. Duni Famewo, commended the school management for their successful accomplishment. The success and conducive learning environment is already attracting parents to the school.
I came around myself to look at the environment, because before I enroll my daughter in any school, I have to look at the environment.
the environment is clean, it's conducive, and it's good for learning.
Like a seed planted by the riverside, Mummy's Place International Nursery and Primary School pledged that it will continue to consolidate on the achievement and success in the last 20 years of its establishment. Sahida Rubisala, OSRC News.
President Muhammadu Buhari has sworn in Justice Ariwola Olukayode as the substantive Chief Justice of Nigeria. Justice Ariwola took the judicial oath of office during a brief ceremony at the Council Chambers in Abuja before the commencement of the weekly Federal Executive Council meeting presided over by the President. The ceremony was witnessed by Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, ministers, other justices of the Supreme Court, Oyo State Governor Seyi Makinde, and his Ondo State counterpart Oluwarotimi Akeredolu. Justice Ariwola was appointed a Justice of the Supreme Court on November 22, 2021 by President Goodluck Jonathan. In a media chat, the CJN appealed to politicians in the country to allow the judiciary to function optimally as the 2023 elections approach, promising reforms at the Apex Court. The 2023 appropriation bill of 20.5 trillion naira has passed through the second reading in the Senate and the House of Representatives. The upper chamber referred the bill to its committee on appropriation for further legislative action and expressed dissatisfaction over the rise of recurrent expenditure, which is up from over 6 trillion naira this year to over 8 trillion naira budgeted for next year, stating that Nigeria cannot continue to borrow to fund 1% of its population. Subsequently, the Senate asked its committee to report back in 4 weeks. It adjourned its sitting for the next 4 weeks to allow its various committees to work on the 2023 budget estimates as well as a budget defense by various ministries, departments and agencies. Similarly, in the lower chamber, the lawmakers commended President Muhammadu Buhari for the intervention fund for the Academic Staff Union of Universities as well as the improvement in budget of the judiciary. The Federal High Court in Lagos has sentenced Nollywood filmmaker, popularly known as Seun Egbegbe, to 7 years imprisonment with hard labor for fraud. Egbegbe, who had been in detention for 57 months since his arrest in 2017, was however released to go home, having exceeded the imprisonment time in detention. Justice Oluremi Oguntoyibo also said the police tampered with the money recovered from the accused and ruled that all the money recovered from Egbegbe as evidence should be returned to him. The judge also freed the 4 other defendants. You are watching OSRC News at 7. We'll now take a break. We'll be back shortly. Please stay tuned. Thanks for rejoining us. You can watch us live on our website www.osrc.ng or follow us on Facebook OSRC TV Ondo, and on YouTube you can subscribe to our channel OSRC TV Ondo. Moving ahead, government at all levels have been charged to encourage sign language among individuals, stressing that it will go a long way to bring about an egalitarian and inclusive society for all. Those were the submissions of stakeholders at an event to mark the 2022 International Day of Sign Language and Deaf Awareness Week held in Akure. OSRC Joseph Ikugbomire reports that the theme for this year's event is building inclusive communities for all. The report.
Every 23rd of September yearly, is a day set aside by the United Nations General Assembly to mark the International Day of Sign Languages to create awareness about its importance around the world. This was the first time that Ondo State will celebrate the event widely through the State Association of the Deaf in the month of October to reiterate the essence of the day with members of the association across the state in attendance. In his welcome address, Chairman of the association in the state, Mr. Olariwaju Adigbo, who spoke on the significance of the day, called on government, philanthropists, corporate bodies as well as individuals to assist the body through financial and moral donations for its growth. Chairman of the Agency for the Welfare of Persons with Disabilities, Folashade Arishe, emphasized the need for parents who have ear impairment children to bring them to the school created by the state government for them to be active part of the society.
Appeal to all parents at home to kindly go to internet to know much about how to interpret to hearing impaired. Hearing impaired is very, very important to know how to sign. Sign language is very, very important in the society. And I want to appeal to all government officials in all the 18 local governments should place to include persons with disability into their project.
Principal of the School for the Ear Impaired in Akure, Prince Mike Ologbese, and engineer Akinlayo Akindele described the theme for this year's event as apt, with a call on everyone to support and encourage sign language.
Sign language, it should be expanded. Everybody should be involved. Those deaf, those in school and those who are not in school should be involved so that they will feel happy that today is their day. Just like celebrating Father's Day, Mother's Day. That is what this one should be.
This is the first of its kind. So I want them to continue. And I pray that they will get to their destination by God's grace.
Lectures, cultural display, and other exciting moments added color to the celebration. Joseph Ikubomire, Osrc News.
The University of Medical Sciences, UNIMED Ondo City, is set to blaze the trail in the field of pharmacy with the construction of a world-class Faculty of Pharmacy building in the permanent site of the university located in Ondo and the introduction of an innovative degree program. The Faculty of Pharmacy is named after Chief Olu Akikugbe, one of the greatest pharmacists in the history of Nigeria, a quintessential entrepreneur and business icon. Kunle Ariyo reports.
The Olu Akikugbe Pharmacy Education Trust, in collaboration with the university, signed a contract with a construction company to start the construction of phase 1 of the faculty building, which is expected to be completed in 52 weeks. In his welcome address, the Vice Chancellor, Professor Adeshegun Fatusi, noted the importance and the need to reposition pharmacy education in the country, given the numerous challenges bedeviling the health sector. He said there is an urgent need to address the palpable and critical gaps in the sector, especially in the area of drug discovery and production. The Vice Chancellor said the university is not only interested in becoming a one-stop institution for training in all health and medical sciences fields, but also to address some of the major gaps currently existing in pharmacy education in Nigeria and contribute towards addressing the human resource challenge in pharmacy practice.
The whole journey has started a while back. About last year, we have a trust fund that Chief Olakun himself had driven and put together, and the whole process of starting the faculty, which is named after him, and that is because he's not just a great Nigerian, but one of the foremost Nigerian pharmacists, and a man who is committed to excellence in many respects, in many dimensions of life, and passionate about tertiary education. So our purpose here this morning is to be able to sign the contract, sign the agreement with the contractor who has been selected to start the building of that faculty at our main site in Ondo.
The Chairman, Board of Trustee, Akikugbe Pharmacy Trust Fund, and former Minister of Health, Julius Adelusi Adeluyi, said the faculty is designed as a center of learning that will attract the brightest minds in Africa and beyond, creating a hub for collaboration to revolutionize the medical and pharmaceutical industry. He congratulated the Foundation Dean of the Faculty of Pharmacy, Professor Abiodun Ogundaini, on his recent appointment by the university while tasking him to bring to fore his wealth of experience in the development of the new faculty. The high point of the occasion was the signing of the contract and handover project document to the contractor, Michael Adeloye, for immediate commencement of the project. The contractor described the project as a landmark achievement promising to deliver a quality job. Kunle Aruyo, Osrc News.
Moving to political related stories, the People's Democratic Party in Ondo State has flagged up campaign for the 2023 general elections. Party faithful at a rally in Akure, the Ondo State capital, said they will pool resources for the success of the party's flag bearers at all elections. Juliet Buna has details.
With one voice, these party faithful of the People's Democratic Party (PDP) in Ondo State have crossed their hearts to ensure candidates of the party emerge victorious at next year's general elections. One of the core issues pointed out at this gathering is mobilization of members to get their PVCs. Party stalwarts, including a former House of Representatives candidate on the platform of the PDP, Mr. Olumiyiwa Adu, enjoined members to eschew violence before, during, and after the elections.
Obviously, there's a procedure for that. Before you embark on any campaign, you have to approach the place to provide security, and that's exactly what we did. If you look at what we are doing now, it's got that you have police vans and police personnel providing protection for us. We don't campaign in a way that can cause violence. We just try as much as possible to restrict everything we are doing to issues and not things that could, aggravate, violence of any sort.
Others also harped on the need to work in unity of purpose for the advancement of the party. The women folk were not left out in the discussion as they pledged to an all-inclusive democratic process.
We started the work already. We have some women on ground. We have the market women, we have the concerned women. We've agreed in Southwest to work for it, and we are mobilizing women in all the wards and all the roads, and even for the local government of the state.
Thank God for His grace and for allowing us to know today. This gathering is brought up to encourage our followers, all our followers, to vote PDP in the next election. Most especially in Ondo State here, from President to the House of Assembly.
For these faithful, a united front is the magic to winning the elections. Hence, they stand on an organized structure ahead the elections. Juliet Buna, Osrc News.
In the meantime, religious leaders in Nigeria have called for peace ahead of the 2023 general elections. The role of the church, they emphasized, is to leverage on unity to bring about the emergence of upright and credible political leaders at all levels. OSRC's correspondent Flora Iweanya in this report said religious leaders tasked politicians to imbibe the spirit of fair play.
Nigeria's general elections provide the citizens the opportunity to elect 4 categories of people: the president, governors, National Assembly members, and state assembly members. Already, candidates have emerged from various political parties to fly the flag in the upcoming elections, so intense lobbying at party levels is intensifying. The citizens who will determine the fate of the politicians are preparing too. While the political temperature increases, religious leaders are raising concerns about the worsening insecurity in the country and impunity which characterizes most electoral contests. They are expressing hope that with the right leadership and God's guidance, Nigeria will surmount all its challenges through the election of a well-groomed leader. The chairman, Pentecostal Fellowship of Nigeria, Ondo State Chapter, Bishop Joshua Okbayinka, called for a universal will to shun violence and imbibe peace while advising voters to collect their permanent voter cards.
Let them collect their PVC right away, and then on the very election day, let them go out, vote for their conscience, and at the same time to avoid vote buying. You see, that has been our emphasis in the church.
Also, a cleric, Pastor John Kolawole, said Nigerians must vote for an individual with the interest of the nation at heart and expressed optimism of a new Nigeria despite all odds.
Gone are the days where we don't show interest in the election. Gone are the days where pastors and ministers will fix their vigils and their program even on election day. And also we're expecting them to educate them of the role of government. The scripture says when the righteous are in authority, people rejoice. When the wicked bear rule, people mourn. So therefore the church leader have the singular responsibility to ensure that the righteous are voted into place of power.
The chief imam of Khalil Fawemi Mosque, Government House, Alhaji Yunus Anola, warned that it would amount to collateral futility if Nigerians uphold their own wisdom above Allah's to elect their leaders at all levels, pointing out that a house built without Allah as its central pillar is prone to unimaginable human crisis and failure.
Nigeria is our home. Nigeria is our fatherland, is also our motherland. We must work with the government to make sure that Nigeria will be a nation of pride. Election is one of the areas of making our own contribution towards making the nation Nigeria a great and a place of pride.
For the Grand Mufasi of Akure, Sheikh Moshood Kewuyemi, Nigerians should vote for trusted leaders in the forthcoming 2023 general elections, adding that the country will overcome the security and economic crisis being faced.
A Muslim must not, for whatever reason, stay away from the election. It is your civic responsibility. You have to be part of the process of electing a new leader for the country.
The clerics unanimously charged Nigerian political leaders to be guided by wisdom in their quest to support individuals who will emerge the next president of Nigeria and other leaders come 2023. Flora Iweanya reporting for Osrc News.
On security, police in Zamfara State say 8 bandits informants have been arrested following its continuous onslaught against activities of criminal elements in the state. Zamfara State Police Commissioner Kolo Yusuf reiterated the determination of officers and men of the command to doing their best in line with the vision of the Inspector General of Police, Usman Alkali Baba, to bring end to the lingering insecurity bedeviling the state for over a decade. And on the foreign scene, Myanmar's junta has again sentenced ousted leader Aung San Suu Kyi to another 6 years in prison for corruption, taking the Nobel laureate's total jail time to 26 years. 77-year-old Suu Kyi has been detained since the generals toppled its government in a coup on February 1 of last year, ending the Southeast Asian country's brief period of democracy. To end Osrc News at 7, here again are some of the major stories. Ondo State Governor Oluwarotimi Akeredolu has stressed the place of true federalism in ensuring restructuring of Nigeria's state. Akeredolu made the assertion at a reception organized for him by eminent sons of Ondo State after he bagged a national award as Commander of the Order of the Niger. And that's the news. Thanks so much for watching. Good evening.